Hi there, quick video to show you how to make Pace or Ranger beads using these rather nice looking Chinese button knots. Right, let's make some Pacer beads. First of all, you make a loop over like that, and you make another one in the same orientation, and what you do is you just pinch them at the bottom like that, and then this goes over, under, over, and then under like that. And what I've done purposely is left a little bit of a loop there and not pulled this through tight, because that's going to be a guide to getting this finished. So then we go over the longer bit, and then we go over that loop you've left, and then those next two there, you go under them and aim for that little hole in the middle like that. You see it's going to be a bit messy because it's not is all over the place to tie, but you can see it's starting to come together nicely. All you've got to do now is start pulling some of these loops and get them tight. Just remember when you're doing this, don't take your eye off the ball, because what happens otherwise, you've got a great big loop like that and you think, oh, was I going left or right? And then you'll end up going back the way you came. I've put some links in the notes of other button knot tying videos that I've done. You can also build them straight onto the paracord you're going to use through the middle. All you do is just put it through that middle bit and then just make it round that. To make a pace bead set, you're going to need 4 and 9 single button knots, preferably different colours like I've done here. Now, as I've said, you can actually form these straight onto the loop that you're making, but they do take a long time. So I've been sat when I've been watching the telly overnight, just knocking 1 or 2 out each time, and then what I'll do, I'll just slide them onto the black piece. So, having finally got all the single button knots ready, we're going to start putting the loop button knots on this bit that's going to hold them. Have a guess how much is here. I'll let you know the amount at the end of the video. To make a double button knot, loop the paracord over your index finger as shown, and then make a loop with this orientation. It then goes over to the bit on your index finger, and you just pull a little loop through like this. I secure it with my thumb. Now take the left hand side piece of cord, pass it under the right hand piece of cord, and then through that little loop you've made. And when you pull that length through, we are now going to refer to the bit so far as a diamond ring. So now we take the bottom length, pass it around the back of the ring that I've just pointed at, then underneath through the diamond, hence the diamond ring reference, and just pull that through gently. Now what I do is take the ring off, swap it round, and just repeat again. So the bottom piece goes around the back with the ring, underneath and through the diamond, which is easy to hit because you've already got one piece through it. And again, gently pull that through, and now, like the single button knot, you've just got to start pulling the threads to make it tight. And this will be the handsome knot that you're left with. I haven't fully formed these knots, so what I'm going to do to get them on the black piece is just melt the ends of the brown and the black, and then quickly push them together like that. What you can also do, but obviously do it at your own risk, wet your fingers and you can squish it down to make it a smoother transition through the knot. Just going to carefully slide those 4 onto the black. One other alternative, you can just use thin pliers and put them through like this, as long as you haven't done the knot too tightly in the first place. So that's the 4 in place. When you form the next knot like this, the looped one, it's going to have to be somewhere about here, because these have to be able to slide up and down. It's just the same procedure for putting the next double one in. It's just obviously you've got the bulk of the other knots at the top to deal with. It's not too much of a problem. There we go. Now I've just got to pull that tight and into shape. And now of course it's just a case of making sure these are nice and tight and about the same size as this for aesthetics. You'll find with paracord it's got its own natural kind of resistance, but obviously the tighter you pull it, the better that resistance is. And once you've got one to its required tightness, you just cut it as close as you can to the finished product. Get your lighter, quick melt, because the longer you do it, the darker it goes. Then just push with the edge of it like that and seal it. And this is what you should end up with. Very pleasing on the eye. I would also suggest getting these push button lighters, because if you get the ones where you have to roll them, your thumb will be turned to burger meat. Done the knot there, and I'm just going to move it up a little bit, but I'm going to undo this one actually because it's got a bit of a torque in it. And I think what does this, it's like when you do a paracord bracelet using the cobra weave. If you do the moves from the same side, it actually puts a twist in, like a sort of DNA strand. And I think what it is, it's just going to be using the lead on the other strand instead of the one I've used here. It's also worth just giving them a little straighten as well, just in case that's aiding the twist. And there we go, that's all done. Just enough room for it to slide up and down. Join the paracord again by heating them, and I've put the final 9 on like that. Now I've got the same job of tightening these up and sealing the ends. You can normally pull these quite tight just using your fingers, to be honest, but if they start getting tired, like mine quite often do if you do this for a long time and I'm not used to it, you can just use the pliers, the long ones, and just give it a little tweak like that and work it around that way. And here's another great combination of using the single Chinese button knots and the one with the loop on, making some sort of keyring. And so we're almost there, and what you're going to do now is put one of those knots down here, leaving the same gap as you have up here. Now one thing you will have to do is work out how many paces you take over 100 metres. You might have a bushcraft school you can do it with. I did mine with Woodland Ways. You might have an athletics track nearby or a school track, a tape measure, or even you can get apps that measure distance as well, but you need to work that out. Mine's 62 just out of interest. And this is what you should end up with. And now the practical. Now, I'm not someone who does a lot of map reading, to be fair, but I do know how to use these, and I've obviously just made this as a nice project. So once you know how many paces you take, so for me, as I said, it's 62. Once I've done that, I'll move one of the orange ones down, and that represents 100 metres. And that'll go through 9 of those, and then when that's happened, you slide them all back, and then slide one of the green ones down, which represents 1,000 or 1 kilometre. And if you're not using your beads at any time, you can just put a gated clip on them and they can hang quite happily on the back of your rucksack. Now, whilst out and about showing you how to use these beads, I did notice a slight mistake on the actual pacer beads, but I'm going to show you another little tool that'll fix it really easily. As useful as pliers are for putting stuff through, you can't beat these needles that you can get for putting paracord through. There's a kind of threaded end there that you push the paracord into and just thread it in like that. And then you can see you can get this through the smallest of gaps that you wouldn't stand a chance with just using your fingers, or maybe even some of the pliers. They're worth investing in and they're not actually that expensive. So where I've already tied the little button knots and I've just got to replace one, I'll be able to thread all these on with no problem whatsoever. It's 220 centimetres.